Well, hello, welcome to Tarot to a T. Today's reading is for fire signs, and I am starting with fire signs because what do we have coming up on April 8th? We have that solar eclipse in Aries. So we are going to start with Aries here. I've already meditated on the cards. I've already dealt them out. First column here will be for Aries, this one will be for Leo, and this will be for Sagittarius. If this is the first time to my channel, welcome. Glad to see you here. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, liking the video, all that jazz, really helps me out. Okay. We will jump right into it. I was just going to do a little explanation. So our first cards up here is the overall theme for the month. This is for April 2024. I didn't mention that, but we know that, right? The second cards here are going to be for a complication or a contributing factor to what's going on for you in the month. And then we will end with cards of advice, and I will pull clarifiers. So let's start with Aries. And when I dealt the cards here, Aries, I had 3 come out, and I usually don't with these short mini readings that I'm doing. But we did for you. We got the 4 of diamonds, the king of diamonds, and the 6 of spades. Wow, that's actually very, very positive. And the complicating factor here is the 5 of hearts. Interesting. I'm just absorbing the energy a little bit here. I'm an intuitive reader, so the first thing that screams at me is all these pentacles with the 4 of diamonds and the king of diamonds. I'll address the 6 of spades here in a second. 4 of diamonds is some kind of windfall. You could have some kind of financial change coming in that's huge. But the king of diamonds tells me it's about taking mastery or control over your finances. So obviously it is related, but what's striking here is whatever is happening is allowing you to be more responsible in some way. Like, and I don't mean that you're irresponsible, Aries, but maybe you've been having trouble coming up with large sums of money to make repairs or just take care of like high credit card debt. I mean, all kinds of things are going on like that these days with people. I really like this king of diamonds energy though. This is also earth energy. I'll just throw it in there, but I don't think we're talking about an earth sign with this. You may have that in your chart though, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. But mastering control over finances and your abundance in some way. Now I will tell you with the 4 diamonds, even though it is that windfall card, it's also a little bit of a caution about saving whatever windfall this is. To be careful how you spend it if you have to spend it, you know. The other thing to mention, and I don't usually mention that with the 4 of diamonds, but it's the 4s are about the foundation and our stability in our home life. This is obviously going to help you in your stability in some way and your financial material survival, as it would for most people, right? It's kind of the obvious, but I need to say it. Now, the 6 of spades is about destiny and fate. It's kind of exciting because it's almost like whatever windfall this is, it was destined to happen, it was fated to happen, it was meant to happen. So whatever form that's taking, I actually do know an Aries who's getting some huge loan, for example. Whatever form it's taking, it doesn't necessarily mean someone's giving you the money, as in their case. This is meant to be. So if you're on the fence about making a decision like that, this is the path you're meant to take. Again, how to get this windfall into your life, whatever form that takes. That's what I want to emphasize with that. Because these are general readings, so they're not going to apply to everybody. But I do believe the themes can apply across a broad spectrum of different situations. You catch my drift? So it could take any kind of form there. But the 6 of spades is also about opening up other opportunities and paths for you to follow, because this is that destiny card. This is going to open up your life in other ways. Not sure what they're going to be because it is kind of a broad energy behind the 6 of spades, but hey, I just thought I'd mention that. Now the 5 of spades is some kind of about 5 of hearts is about some kind of physical separation that has affected you emotionally in some way. Maybe it's stemming from that windfall, but this is complicating things or adding to the picture of you gaining some kind of financial stability. That's what I keep getting. There's some kind of financial stability that's happening, but it's a result of some kind of physical separation. It could be like the end of a relationship. Although those cards didn't come out, that doesn't mean it's not. And I'm going to ask for a couple of clarifiers. But the physical separation could also be you deciding to sell your home. Maybe that's where the windfall comes in, and it's allowing you to take better financial responsibility, which is good, because it's meant to be. Whatever it is, okay? Let's go ahead and ask for clarifiers for Aries. And you have that solar eclipse coming up, and you're having a lot of intense stuff going on right now. I just know that. There's too many cards. I have to ask for just a couple. But I just know that because, like, again, I do know an Aries who's going through a tough time right now. And no, they do not watch the channel, so they don't know that I'm talking about them. But I honestly don't know that they even believe in astrology. But I always keep it in mind when I know somebody, their sign, their birth date, and there's intense astrological things going on, and astronomical, you know, the solar system, the sun, the planets. We got to pay attention to that stuff to see the patterns. You also got the 3 of spades, stress and worry. Yeah, even though things are looking up for you financially, there's still some stress and worry. I think it has to do with this physical separation. I will mention the Aries I know does have a physical separation going on. They lost a pet recently. And I didn't see that card come out here about death, but or some kind of loss, but it could certainly be interpreted that way. The Jack of Clubs. You might have a younger fire sign around you, or somebody who's less experienced in some way. Somebody you can lean upon, though. That's what the Jack of Clubs is. Kind of that friend, that person who sits on, I'd say sit on your shoulder like a parrot, but but they're just like off to the side. In other words, they're not necessarily a partner, a family member. They could be, though. But then again, anyway, a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Could be you, of course. Or it could be you, Aries, experiencing just kind of a different phase of your life you're not experienced with what's going on here, what the decisions you're having to make, the things you're going through. I'm getting a lot of information, so sorry if I'm stuttering. Yeah, Jack of Clubs could certainly indicate your inexperience in, you know, dealings and I'm hearing dealings and matters. But again, it could be another fire sign. Somebody you look upon as a confidant. I'm going to ask for another card of clarification before we move to advice. Aries is very prominent and important right now, especially in the next week or two. 7 of Diamonds. Be careful with that windfall. Avoid unnecessary risks and gambles. That's what the 7 of Diamonds talks about. I don't know that you're necessarily headed in that direction. It's just throwing caution to the wind. Yes, that's the impression I'm getting from that. Let's go ahead and look at your advice here, Aries. Here we go again with the 3 of Spades. We already had it pop out once. We have it again. Stress and worry. You know, because it's in your advice, I don't think it's advising you to stress and worry more. That would be kind of bad advice, right? Maybe just to expect that you're still going to have stressful, worrisome things going on for April. Again, you have that solar eclipse going on in your sign. This is par for the course. Unfortunately, you're going to have to go through this. I'm hearing trial and error. I don't know why I said that, but trials and tribulations is where I was headed. Whatever you're being tested on right now, you know, like I said, I think there's a lot of intense things going on for Aries right now because of what's going on in the universe, in the in the stars. You also have the black and white Joker, things that you're feeling kind of up in the air for you, like you're not knowing what the future holds for you, because it's also the Fool card energy. The Fool to me is always about just not knowing what lies ahead. Again, with the black and white Joker, though, it's things being unsettled. Even though you got this windfall going on, you don't know what the future holds for you. But I'm telling you, there's a confirmation here. There's a little gem of confirmation here that you're on the right path with the Six of Spades, fate and destiny. I'm feeling pulled to grab one more card of advice for you before we move on. Here we go. Nice. That is spectacular. This is your ultimate happiness and contentment. You're if you don't feel like you're there already, you're headed that way. And this is going to close out a major chapter in your life. It's the Ten of Hearts. Major emotional contentment, satisfaction. It's kind of the happiness at the end of the rainbow. Not that things are over and you're done. It's just, you're headed towards your happiness, and we all look for that, right? Every person on this planet is, no matter what they're involved in, what they're going through, they're looking for their ultimate happiness. And Aries, you are headed that way. I really strongly feel, especially with this Destiny and Fate card, all of this was meant to happen, and it is a mixed bag, right? We got the physical separation, the change. We got the stress and worry come out twice with the Three of Spades. We got the actually a couple confirmations here about being careful with taking risks with your finances. But ultimately, I see this because it's in your advice. This is where it's all leading to. So I see it as a positive. All these twists and turns that you're headed down these days. Okay. Hope this was a helpful reading for you. Please hit that like button if it resonated with you especially. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to Leo. So this is Leo for April 2024. The Six of Diamonds, Four of Clubs. Interesting mix. And we also got two cards here. Complicating factors or things contributing to the overall theme and picture. We got the Seven of Hearts and Three of Hearts. Wow. Not quite sure how this ties in, because these are two very different scenarios. The Six of Diamonds talks about financial opportunities opening up for you. And if they haven't already opened up, there's more opportunities headed your way with the Six, okay? With the Four of Clubs, you're looking at stability and the foundation of your home life being very stable. It's kind of a boring card, that Four of Clubs. It's kind of like you're on rock solid ground, but there's not much else to say about it. But I do see it tied in with your finances, obviously, and more opportunities coming your way. It just could be a matter of you focusing right now on your stability in life, your security. And I can resonate with that because I'm a Leo. But I'm seeing it in the cards. I'm not just interjecting my own stuff here. I hope you recognize that. That's pretty cool. But with the Seven of Hearts, Three of Hearts, that's like some kind of heartbreak, some kind of letdown. It's usually around some person with the Seven of Hearts, and the Three of Hearts talks about choices to be made. And it's some kind of emotional matter. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to you're trying to decide how to feel about something. Somebody who let you down. Personally, I don't, off the top of my head, I can't see how that applies to me, but I'm not the only Leo in the universe either. Maybe it's something that hasn't come up yet. Again, this is for April 2024. So let's go ahead and get more cards of clarification. But yeah, there's some kind of letdown here. I don't see that being connected to the financial and the stability around your home life. I mean, it could be that somebody you're living with. This is clearly coming from intuition for me. Somebody you're living with has disappointed you in some way, and you're deciding whether... I'm not going to say to break up with them. It could be just a roommate who's letting you down, right? Somebody who can't pay their bills, or somebody who's a slob. And that maybe they're tied into your stability in some way. I'm going to go ahead and ask for Whoa, too many cards. A few clarifiers, a couple clarifiers here for Leo. Wow. There's some kind of new start, though. It's important that you follow your heart, though. In any case. You're following your heart, and it's a new start. And yes, it rhymes. But maybe this hasn't been a priority for you in the past. Since I kind of see it on the heels of some kind of heartbreak and disappointment. How you're trying to decide how you feel about something. It's important that you follow your heart and your passion, or follow your true calling. How about that? Your true calling. More cards of clarification for Leo. That's a big old hunk there. I can't do that. But we did see that Queen of Clubs. Let's see if she comes out again. Okay. Two of Hearts. Interesting. There's a desire here. I hope you see this connection. We have all these hearts coming out in complicating matters. But the Two of Hearts specifically talks about an intimate connection, or the desire for one. Harmony and balance with that two. That's emphasized with the Two of Hearts. You have the Ace of Hearts, the Two of Hearts, the Three of Hearts, and then we have that Seven of Hearts. Perhaps somebody let you down, Leo. And you're on your new path to finding, let's say, that special someone if you're not involved with somebody. And it's very important that you find somebody who's on the same page with you with the Two of Hearts. You're desiring that intimate connection, the desire to share your space, your life, your place, everything with somebody. And the Three of Hearts may be about you deciding how to go about that. Now, if you are involved with somebody, or you're in a long-term relationship that's been stable, you could be on a new path to, or a new beginning with the Ace of Hearts, to get closer in some way, to strengthen that bond you have with somebody. You see my point? Like the Seven of Hearts kind of tells me that somebody, I'm not going to blame the other person, I'm just going to say somebody has let you down, or that's how you feel. There's some kind of disappointment, and you're determined now to work on that. You see my point? And the Three of Hearts is about deciding maybe how to go about that. An emotional decision. But you truly want to follow your heart, and you want that emotional connection, that closeness with somebody. Well, physical as well. That usually goes along with it. But the Hearts is more about the emotional aspects. I'm going to ask for another card here. Very interesting turn, because your theme is about your stability and your finances and your abundance and opportunities. But this is clearly all emotional. Relationships, situationships. Queen of Clubs. This could be you. See, that Queen of Clubs came out. What did I tell you a second ago? She came out when I dropped the cards. There were too many. This could be you, Leo. This is fire sign energy, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. It could also be someone else, another fire sign perhaps, that you're involved with, or you're trying to decide about. I was going to say potentially going to meet a fire sign. I don't know why. I didn't see a card that came out, but perhaps that's what this is about as well. This Queen of Clubs is somebody you can depend upon, and somebody you can look for guidance, and a mentor as well. It's kind of the side theme behind that Queen of Clubs, but I feel like it's very possible this is you, and you're standing in your power. Now, just because it's Queen doesn't mean you're female, and just because it's not a King doesn't mean that you aren't in complete mastery and control over your emotions. But it could just be how people are perceiving you these days. And the queen position is, I just see it as still having mastery and control and power, but it's more subdued. Let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. Jack of Hearts. This could be water energy. This could be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. I feel like it's talking about you keeping your heart open and being vulnerable to what comes your way, and in a healthy way. That vulnerability of having your heart open to what you can't see coming. Okay? The Jack is about not having experience and not having expectations. It's that young outlook. Just in a generic sense, you don't have to really be that young. Just like having that fresh, open outlook. Jack of Hearts energy. Interesting in your advice that it's focusing on these emotional aspects. We started off again with your abundance and your stability around your home life. I mean, it could be in April that there's going to be a shift, since things are looking stable in your home life. If you've been working on that for a while, the focus is going to be more on a relationship or a potential new relationship. You see what I'm driving at there? More cards of advice for Leo. So if you are looking into relationships, these are really positive cards. Look, but we got an emphasis here with the Seven of Hearts again. We had that down here. Ouch. I think you're afraid of getting hurt. If you are single, this is what it's about. You're afraid of being let down. It's quite contradictory with the Jack of Hearts and having your heart open, because here's that pain and that, again, that fear. Another card of advice to clarify. I mean, in your advice is not asking you to be let down by somebody, but perhaps you need to acknowledge that you have that fear. Nine of Spades, yep. So this is like addressing some kind of completion, some kind of loss. Maybe there's some kind of relationship that you need to let go of, and that would actually make sense back here with the Seven of Hearts and that Three of Hearts. Deciding to let go. I don't see a card of breakup and separation, so I don't think you need to leave a relationship, but maybe emotionally you're still attached in some way. And you need to acknowledge that you want this emotional closeness. I'm sorry, I keep holding that Queen of Clubs. You want this emotional connection, but this is about a new start, so I don't think it's something you're really focused on, Leo. But I think down here, this is the beginnings, perhaps, of addressing that. Having your heart open, being vulnerable, recognizing there's still some pain. Like if you haven't fully processed another relationship that you are not in any longer, and here's that loss. And again, that 9 emphasizes a completion. You're not still involved. Again, this is about somebody single. Now, if you are in a relationship and you're trying to work on that relationship and get back to here, this to me would indicate that you're still holding on to that pain and that disappointment that person has caused you, or that you perceive they have caused to you. I'm not going to say it's anybody's fault. I'm not going to take sides here. But there's some kind of loss here. So whatever it was major enough to be a loss and to be acknowledged that it's behind you. You see my point? With the 9s, I just see that as in your advice is saying, hey, it's behind you and it's time to let it go. Jack of Hearts is about, again, having that vulnerability. I'm going to ask for another card of advice. This video might go on longer. I might have to split it, but not for you, Leo. It would be the next sign. But we're going to ask for another card of advice before we let go of Leo and their reading for April 2024. Five of Diamonds, Seven of Diamonds. We are back in the Pentacles and the financial abundance material sector. The Five of Diamonds indicates some kind of change in financial abundance, honestly. And the Seven of Diamonds is a warning about taking unnecessary risks and gambles. So I see it as a very positive, going back to this original new financial opportunities coming your way. In whatever form that is, it doesn't mean you're getting a new job, but it could be, or a raise or promotion. It could also be money that comes to you in another way, abundance that comes to you in another way. It could be business opportunities, anything under the sun, and it's contributing to your foundational stability. This is saying changes are coming. And I do think they're materializing because the six is about, potentials, right? It hasn't necessarily happened yet. Seven of Diamonds just says be careful with it. It's funny. So we got two kind of themes going on for you, Leo, for April. Changes in finances. Your abundance is looking really good. And addressing some emotional needs and, I wouldn't say concerns, but emotional needs that need to start happening. Okay? I think I'm going to end it there. Unfortunately, I can't go much further. Let's go ahead and look at Sagittarius. Your theme for April 2024, the Five of Clubs, and the contributing factor or complication would be the Two of Diamonds. Perhaps you're getting out of a stuck financial situation. This is about the need for some kind of change to happen, and it looks like it is happening for you. This is the renovation card. Again, being stuck in a rut, and I see it tied with this. This is harmony and balance in your finances. Now, this usually actually speaks about that being the case in a partnership or a relationship of some sort. But if you're single, Sagittarius, doesn't mean that that does involve somebody else. I'm going to ask for cards for clarification. Six of Clubs. So this is all about some kind of personal growth. Could be really in any area of your life. So it could be financial. It could be about adopting a new mental attitude around abundance, for example, or some kind of emotional state of mind around it. Could also be spiritual. But nonetheless, there's some kind of personal growth going on. This is going to open up new opportunities for you. The impression I'm getting with my intuition here is this is Sagittarius. It's going through some changes. And as a result, your finances are going to improve. They're going to balance out in some way because you've matured. You've grown in some way. There's some kind of maturity that's been attained. That's fantastic. Again, these are general readings, so I don't have any specifics on that. I am going to ask for another clarifier, though, before we move to advice. And I might be getting at the end of my battery, so, whoa, too many cards there, but that one flew out. So if I have to cut the video, I'll be back as soon as I change my battery. Eight of Diamonds, fantastic. Again, emphasis on finances, abundance. This is some kind of individual, independent effort, though. It is the entrepreneurial card. You're not necessarily going into business, although you could be like starting a business. But there's some kind of individual effort. I think it's paid off with this personal growth, this maturity. It is all wrapped up in these changes with that Five of Clubs. But this is about hard work and effort and some kind of energy being put in a direction that's going to pay off for you, Sag. I already see the payoff with the balance and harmony in your finances. Perhaps there's even more coming, though. Another card before we move on to advice. Too many. Whoa. Well, it happened, Sag. My battery ran out, and this card came out because I was just in the middle of grabbing you one more card, but also I had done the cards of advice. So what I'm going to do is just go through what was revealed in the last few minutes of the video, okay? So I apologize for the break there. So you got the King of Spades. Now I strongly feel this is somebody around you who's not on the same page with you. And I'll let you know that in a minute because I already did see your cards of advice. But I think you're making changes here to get out of some kind of, like I was saying, some kind of financial, I don't want to say a financial rut, but some kind of financial stuckness, right? And you've matured in some way. And you've taken on the initiative. And I don't think somebody here is on the same page with you. Now, this person has some kind of mastery and control in your mind. So it could be a partner. It could also be like a supervisor or somebody you work for. And they're just like, I don't know. For some whatever reason, they're just not on the same page with you. They're not liking what the changes you're making. Perhaps they're used to you being a certain way. And now that you're like this new person, they don't like it. But that's their problem, not yours, right? So the first card that came out, not that one, because this is your card of advice that originally was laying down here. Things are up in the air for you. And understandable. Like I said, you're making these changes. But there's also the Magician card wrapped up with the colorized Joker. So I see the Jokers as things being unsettled. And unsettled in the sense that you don't know where all of this is going to be leading you, but you're definitely on a new independent path here. But I also see there being some kind of divine intervention, perhaps, guidance from the universe, whatever form that takes for you in your spirituality. You're getting some kind of help, and I also see it as confirmation from the universe that you're on the right path, even though things seem up in the air and unsettled for you. Now another card that came out here, and this is why I say this is what really makes sense for me in what I said earlier about you making changes, getting out of a stuck frame of mind, a stuck way of living, a mode of living, operating, what have you, and this person not being on the same page with you and not liking the changes you're making in this independent move, this independent energy. This is all about a new start and acquiring some kind of new skill or knowledge. And see, it all makes sense. You're balancing out your finances in some way. So I do think this is around some kind of work or income thing that you have in your life. And things are unsettled because you just started. You see, the Ace of Clubs kind of confirmed all that for me. And then this came out, and this was really exciting. And this is pretty much where the reading ended, so we didn't lose too much time. So King of Hearts energy can be water sign energy. This could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but I actually see it as you gaining some kind of mastery over your emotional health. This is about, in my mind, some kind of emotional control. It's about being firm, being a leader, but also having that loving, gentle, kind side to them as well. This is fatherly energy, but I don't think we're talking about, a father figure in your life. I think this is you gaining some kind of emotional control. It could be around your work. Maybe your work left you drained. Maybe your work was not fulfilling on some level. And now that you've taken these steps with the Eight of Diamonds, remember the entrepreneurial card, not necessarily about starting your own business, but you could be, but you're taking an independent path and an initiative to change circumstances for yourself. And this is what you're gaining from that. Emotional health and wealth. Literally. Because you're on this new start. You're probably having to learn something along the way or gain some kind of knowledge here. And this person, whoever this is, a spouse, a supervisor, somebody you work for, somebody that you see as having some kind of one up on you as far as having control in your life. whatever form that takes, okay? They're not liking it because this is the new you, right, Sag? This is very positive. I think you have a very positive reading for April. And it's not quite as intense and as drama-filled as the Leo and the Aries over here, but if you did stick it out throughout the whole video, I'm sure you see kind of the contrast there. Thank you for joining me. I just wanted to mention here that if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please give me a like on the video if you find it helpful and you want to see more of me. The support helps, okay? That's what it's about. I enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me again. And I look forward to seeing you again in May. My God, we're already in May. Take care until I do.